What's up, guys? It's your boy Anthony.
And it's your girl Raelle.
And we're back at it again with another video. Alright, so this video what we're doing today is basically advice to young couples.
Yep.
And
I feel like it's advice from our experience.
Yeah.
As you know, we've been together for going on 8 years now, so this is advice from our experience.
Basically, yeah. So we're just trying to give you guys some pointers, you know, especially if you just started dating or you've been dating for a while. You know, you could possibly take this advice, or you know, maybe you already know this, but before we get into this, we just want to say we appreciate you guys for watching us, as well as anything that you want to say or any advice that you guys have, just leave it in the comment below, and let's get right into the video. Alright, so you go first, babe. So if you see us looking down, basically we wrote down some of the things that we thought that were important.
We wrote down some of the things that we thought that we really wanted to touch on. So if you guys do see us looking down, it is because we don't want this video to be too long.
Yeah, because we could go on and on.
Yeah, we can. So let's get to it. All right. Number one on the list, and you know, this is something that everybody always says, but communication. And I feel like although people say this a lot, I feel like it's not, like, people don't really do it enough, but communication in a relationship is very, very, very important. But I feel like not just communication, because I mean, I can tell you how I feel and you can tell me how you feel, but at the end of the day, we also have to understand each other. So communication does come with understanding. So
it does. Yeah, because at the end, like, when people think of communication, they just think of, you know, you're just talking to the person or talking to your significant other, but it's not really just talking. It's, like she said, like, understanding one another, and also communicating how you feel at all times, you know what I mean? So let's say if you felt something off about a certain situation, instead of letting it boil up or just not saying anything about it, it's better if you just, you know, address it when at that very moment. So let's say, for example, we went to a party and, you know, you didn't like that I didn't do something or I did something.
Or you was talking to somebody that I didn't like, or I didn't want you talking to.
Just whatever it is, right? And instead of just like, now you're just trying to give me the cold shoulder, or, you know what I mean? Or you're just like being kind of distant. I'm just like, babe, like, you know, I don't like that you did that. Or, you know, maybe I don't want you to talk to this person. Or, you know what I mean?
And I feel like this is something that we've dealt with a lot because, you know, in the beginning, our communication wasn't the best. So like me personally, whenever I would feel away, I would just, you know, leave it in, and it would just get like bottled up inside, and I would just keep getting more and more mad as time went by. But why even waste that energy? Just, you know, talk to each other, tell each other exactly how you feel.
True. And not only that, you know, like, speaking from experience for me, I'm the type of person that I don't really like confrontation. And I feel like arguments are pointless, to be honest. Like, I just feel like why do we need to argue? But
yeah, but I feel like you would only say why you need to argue if the girl is upset about something.
I mean, yeah,
if you was upset about something.
But the thing is, even if I'm upset, I don't really like getting upset. I just feel like, all right, it is what it is. We just move on from it. I just feel like I'm just a type of person, I'd rather just move on from it. That's it. It happened. Point blank, period, it's over. But, you know, most guys, I think, they are like that. Like, you're just like, why you gotta be mad for it? But you gotta understand, you know,
why you
guys,
gotta be mad? Because
but look,
the girl is mad.
But listen,
not because you mad. Why you gotta be mad? Because the girl is mad. If the guy was mad at the girl about something, you wouldn't be saying that.
I mean, but I don't know. I'm just saying, like, in these scenarios, or just in general, if you're mad, guys, or you like to avoid confrontation, or you just don't really feel like, you know, there's a real need for arguments or any of those things, it's better if you just address it. Sometimes, like, if I just rather hold it in, I just feel like there's no point. But it's not good to let it boil over. Like, you just keep holding it, because one day you might just black. And we've had, like, you know, situations where...
Well, explain what black means, because I don't think everybody knows what black
So
means.
black is basically like, you know, you might just explode. Like, you know, you've been holding in all that anger, or you're just not saying anything. You're just like, okay.
Now you just go off, like...
Yeah, and, you know, that's not good. You know what I mean? So communication definitely is one of the
communication and understanding each other. Because I can tell you how I feel, but if you don't understand me, it's pointless. But communication and understanding.
And the communication also goes with arguments as well. When you guys are arguing, it shouldn't be like you said. We should be understanding each other. The argument should be a more productive argument compared to a destructive argument. So like, you know, we need to definitely, you know, whenever you're having an argument, you know, it should just be more about how to solve the situation compared to going off of emotions and, you know what I mean? So
it should be a productive argument.
Yeah. So you guys are trying to solve the problem, not just, you know, fight the whole time.
Okay. So next on our list is trust. And I feel like trust is so important because it could literally make or break your relationship. If you do not trust that person, then wherever they go, whatever they say they're gonna do, anything they tell you is literally just like you're gonna question it because you're gonna be like, I don't even know if this guy is really or girl is really telling the truth.
True.
And I don't know whether to believe them or not. So building trust, and if you broke that trust, yes, it takes 2 seconds to lose it, but years to build trust. So if you break that trust, you really have to work for it back because I feel like some people think, you know, you could just build trust like that. Like they do something and they expect you to, just because they apologize, and then they expect you to basically just forgive them like the next week. But trust does not work like that. Like it takes years to build.
A lot of, I see a lot of couples, or I mean guys, for example, they cheat on their girls and they just expect the girls to forget what they did, and you know that's not how it is. And also when you are dealing with trust issues, depending on who broke the person's trust, you have to be a lot more sensitive towards them because, you know, that girl or that guy might be a lot more, I guess, like hesitant or more aggressive towards you in a way. So you gotta understand, like, it's not that they're mad at you, they're just mad at whatever you did that caused them to feel that way.
And it's gonna take time. It's definitely gonna take time. You can't expect things to just go back to normal, you know, within a short period of time. It's going to take time. Relationships take time and effort. A lot.
And if you really love that person, you know, you make sure that you gain that trust again and to not allow whatever you did or whatever happened to happen again.
So next on our list is respect. But I feel like respect is not just in relationships. Respect is for everybody, like in general. But in relationships, respect is definitely something that is important. You want to touch on that, babe?
Yeah, so respect is basically has to deal with, you know how they say treat people the way you want to be treated. So, you know, if you're in a relationship and you don't like a certain thing you wouldn't want done to you, so don't do that to that person. So let's say, for example, if you don't like when, I don't know, like you don't like when I drink out of your cup. That's just an example. Like you don't like when I drink out of your cup, so, you know, why would I, you know,
drink out of my cup?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, it's just
if you know I don't like that, why are you gonna do it?
Exactly. So, and if I don't like you using like my cup, so why would I do it to you? And respect is not only just that; it's just also like, you know, having a sense of, like, you know, just I don't even know how to explain it. Just common sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna go out and curse the person out, or just, you know, like,
don't put your hands on nobody either. Like, you know,
you're not gonna just go out of nowhere and just start doing like disrespectful stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, respect does go a long way. I feel like it does. It
takes respect to get respect. So you gotta respect the other person in order to receive respect back.
But most importantly, you can't respect somebody if you don't respect yourself. A lot of people, they don't respect themselves, and, you know, without respecting yourself, how are you gonna respect somebody else? You know what I mean? So you gotta, you know, put yourself at a higher standard, because there's a lot of people, you know, or, you know, females or males that don't respect themselves and allow people to disrespect them. And, you know, when that happens, then it becomes a whole cycle, and then, you know, so you gotta respect yourself first before you can respect anybody else. So yeah.
So next on our list is the love languages. I feel like love languages is so important, and that is honestly something that we're still trying to figure out right now, even, you know, 8 years down the line. Not only is it because, you know, it's something that's fairly new to us, so we're still trying to figure it out, but learning how to love each other is very important, because let's say Anthony likes to for him to feel loved, he has to get a lot of gifts, or you have to show him appreciation, right? So, but for me, on the other hand, I don't think that's how you show somebody love. I think, just me showing affection is enough. But for him, if he feels loved by, getting gifts and you doing things for him and stuff like that, then that's what I have to do in order to show him that I love him. And if I feel like all I need you to do for me is show me affection, and if he's not used to doing that, and that's the only way I know how to receive love, then that's what he has to do in order for me to feel love.
Basically, so love language is also.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. So basically, love language is just trying to find out how the person, wants to be loved, because everybody has their own way of being loved. Some people like materials, you know what I mean, like material items.
Things,
are what shows how you appreciate them. Some people just rather the little things, you know what I mean, like making breakfast, you know what I mean, or just you're making breakfast in bed, or whatever the case is, giving a simple massage, so it's good to learn, find that out, and if you're willing to do that, because some people don't, let's say if you guys are two different love languages, you might see like
it's gonna be harder, actually.
Yeah, because let's say I'm materialistic and she's not, so she might be like, what's the point? Why do you need to get that? But for me, it's like, that's just how I like it.
Yeah.
So, it comes with learning that and, compromising. Because at the end of the day, it is a teamwork. But we'll get into that.
So, like he did say, compromise. That is something else that is also on our list that is very important in a relationship, because, in a relationship, it is teamwork. So it's not just about me. It's not just about you.
Yeah, we're a team.
We're a team. We have to work together. So with that being said, we do have to compromise. And sometimes I might have to do things that I don't necessarily want or like to do, but because he likes it or that's what he wants to do, like, I'm gonna do that.
How I look at team is together, everyone achieves more. So if we work together, we're definitely gonna continue achieving more. So I feel like, as long as we're on the same page, we're trying to reach the same goals, which is another thing that we have on there. But yeah, as long as we're both, trying to get to the bigger picture, then, it's gonna work. So yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like compromising is similar to also making sacrifices, because in relationships, you also gotta make sacrifices sometimes when one person wants to do something and you don't want to do that thing, so you kind of have to sacrifice maybe something else that you had to put aside in order to do that thing for that person, but you guys have to do that for each other. It shouldn't be only one person compromising or making sacrifices. It has to be like
equal.
A balance.
It gotta be a balance, and it's not like you're gonna be like, well, I did this and you didn't do that. Like, no, it should just.
You guys should do stuff for each other.
Exactly. When we say compromise, we're talking about you guys come to a common agreement where it benefits both parties.
Exactly.
It doesn't just be beneficial to one person. You guys gotta
Meet
find a common ground.
Yeah.
But most importantly, that's where, the teamwork actually develops. You know what I mean? Because it's, again, together everyone achieves more. So as long as we're working together and, there's no way we're gonna lose. That's it.
No way. Okay, so next on our list is do not get too comfortable. And I feel like this is more for relationships that are like long term, because in the beginning, everything is peaches and cream and it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But do not get too comfortable. I could definitely, as from experience, together for 8 years.
Yeah, when you get too comfortable, I don't want to cut you off, but getting too comfortable happens a lot because, you're with that person for X amount of time and you just feel like, I already did my job, you know what I mean? Or you just feel
I already got that person, so I don't need to keep trying.
So, but I've learned from, experience, and I've talked to people, I've talked to people that have been in a relationship for years, and, they often said that, don't get too comfortable. The way that you got them, you should continue doing that on and on again. So if I got her by taking her to the movies, or I got her by, taking her on dates, or whatever it is, getting her flowers if that's what she likes, or, you got to continue doing that throughout the relationship.
And that's the thing, I wanna make this point because, yes, continue doing that throughout the relationship, but don't do it, Like, you know, spice it up a little bit. Like, don't do the same things over and over and over again.
Don't
like,
do it. Don't do it.
You know, if you was taking her to TGI Fridays in the beginning, like, take her to some, you know, higher up restaurant, some, you know, something a little bit nicer than TGI, you know. But you can't keep doing the same things.
Yeah, don't. I feel like you shouldn't be, you know, like she said, don't get comfortable. You know, also
don't let yourself go.
Yeah, don't get to the point where you're just like, okay, you're just another. You know what I mean? Like she said, spice it up. Every Friday, you guys could be like, you know what? Every Friday, I remember when we first started dating, we went out to eat. So now that would just be like our thing. We'll just every Friday we go out to eat, but it'll be a different restaurant. You know, or even also there was another thing. I feel like you should also still flirt with each other, no matter how long the relationship has been. You know, still give her compliments, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a plus. And actually mean those compliments. Don't just say you're beautiful. Like, you know, give compliments when, you know, when it's the time to give compliments.
But I feel like that also goes hand in hand with, like, basically keeping up with yourself and not letting yourself go.
Yeah, that's
because, to be honest, like, I'm still human at the end of the day. Like, if you let yourself go, I'm not just going to compliment you just because that's something that you want to hear. Like, if I'm not attracted to you because you kind of don't want to take care of yourself anymore, like, I can't get myself to like something that I don't naturally like, if that makes sense.
That's
like,
where communication comes.
Like, so, you know, it's not just communication, but just keep up with yourself. Like, girl, you know, if you always look good in the beginning, keep looking good. And same goes for the guys. Yeah.
You know, just keep yourself up, but I feel like flirting is important. I feel like that's really, because that's how you got the person. 9 times out of 10, you have to flirt with them to get with them. You know what I mean? So, you know, you gotta keep on flirting. You know, just those little things, compliments here and there. You know what I mean? And just show your appreciation towards them.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Next on our list is, which I think this is so important in a relationship, because it is about the two of you and not about other people. But listen to each other and not other people. Yeah. I can't even stress that enough. Just please listen to each other and not other people. Don't bring other people into your relationship, especially the people that don't even know anything about relationship or haven't even been in a serious relationship themselves. Don't take advice from people that are single. They single for a reason.
Why are you pointing at me?
I'm not pointing at you.
Oh no, look, because the way you was talking.
Oh no, I'm just talking with my hands, you know. But
nah, you're right, because you
can't stress that enough.
Because it's not. I was listening to this podcast where there was this guy was talking about relationships, and in the podcast, basically he was talking about, you know, it shouldn't be. It's between you, yourself, you and your significant other, not you, your significant other, and the third person. And you know, speaking from experience, you know, sometimes like if we have an issue, you know, in the beginning, I would think I was right. You know, most of the time we always think we're right. So I would call, you know, like a couple of friends and be like, yo, what do you think about this situation? Yeah, and that's not good. That's not good, because most of the time when you call your people, they gonna agree with you. They gonna side with you automatically. You know what I mean? And the thing is, they don't really hear the other person's side, so they automatically agree with you. Now you're just like, see, I was right, because this person said this. Especially because as a person, like if you're calling your friends, you're always gonna tell your friend, you know, like your side, like why you're right. You're not really gonna tell it from the other person's perspective. Exactly. So instead of, don't allow, the relationship is between you and that person. It's not between you, that person, and whoever else. And yeah, that's simple as that. It's just about you two. Don't bring other people into the relationship. Not saying don't take advice, but you just gotta take advice from the right people. You know, if you see like a successful couple that's been married for 50 years, you know, you talk to them, not a couple that just started. You know what I mean? But then again, I can't say that. I just feel like a couple that's successful, not a couple that has been together for 50 years. A couple that... Just a successful couple. You know what I mean? That you'll actually probably, like, you know, look up to and stuff. But you don't have to take all of the advice that somebody gives you. Just pick and choose what you find useful and then use that, and that's it. Yeah, because, just to say, because not every couple is the same. So just because it might work for them, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you guys. So, that's true. Yep. Okay. So on to our next one. Our next one is frequent checkups. So this is something that we actually also learned recently. I think within like
the last year or something.
You went to the seminar, right?
Yeah, we went to like I forgot the name of it, but yeah, we went to a seminar. You know, it was about like relationships, stuff like that. So yeah, frequent checkups is very important, and it is now something that we actually incorporate into our own relationships. So basically, what it is we'll just kind of check up with each other like every so often. Maybe it might be every couple weeks, every month or so, and then we'll actually just sit down and be like, okay, so what do you think about the relationship right now? Like, how do you think we're doing? What is going right? What is going wrong? Like, how you feeling? What's going on in your mind?
Yeah, because I feel like, without the freaking checkups, you just go with the flow. And without the freaking checkups, you don't really know how the person feels.
Yep.
And sometimes you might feel like, oh, everything is right, everything is good, but it's really not. You know what I mean? And with the checkups, it gives you that opportunity to see how the person feels and get into their shoes. Then you're like, man, I didn't know that they felt like that. You might think like, well, everything is just fine and dandy.
When it's really not.
Yeah. So with the freaking checkups, honestly, I feel like that's a must in all relationships.
Next on our list is you guys have to obviously do things together because you're in a relationship, like the only way to keep the relationship going is to do things together. But with that being said, you guys also want to give each other space to kind of do their own thing at the same time, but make time for each other, like frequently, not just here and there, but make time for each other frequently, because that's the only thing that's really going to keep the relationship strong. But at the same time, you also want to keep up with yourself and do things for yourself and do things that you like outside of the relationship. So yeah,
so basically when we say do things together, we're talking about like not just chilling and watching TV. You know what I mean? When
make plans
like go on trips, or even if you don't have money for that, like just go to different things, go to a different museum. Like we went to a seminar. You know what I mean? Like
do what's in your budget, because there's also a lot of like free things out there, especially like if you're a student. Also, use your student discounts and stuff.
There's a lot out there that you can
Groupon.
do. But also give each other space. You know what I mean? Because I feel like before you got into a relationship, you had your own personality, and sometimes when you get into a relationship, you kind of lose that personality, which is could be a good thing or a bad thing. But I feel like you should still keep up with yourself at the end of the day. When we say space, we're not talking about like, I don't know.
Like days at a time.
But I'm talking
about talk to the person.
Like for a good example would be, the space would be like, let's say if, like you just started crocheting, right? So you do your crochet, I play my game. You know what I mean? So it would just be like, that would be like a space, or like you read your book, I read my book. Like we still have our own. Like,
our own interests outside of
the relationship,
the interests that we have together and that we do together.
Exactly. So the next one on our list is figuring out each other's goals, and I feel like that is honestly should be top, like number 2 next to communication, because without if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So like if you guys don't have a plan together or have common interests, the relationship is not gonna go anywhere.
And that's the thing. I feel like it's not just about common interest, but also making sure like your beliefs and stuff, like all those things line up. So the things that you want in the future, make sure you get to see where the other person's head is at. What do they want for their future? Because let's say you want like $1 million house in the future, and you're working towards that, and you're you're making moves towards that, but the other person just wants to live like a regular life, and they're good like over here. Like you guys, it's gonna cause some issues in the long run. Maybe not in the beginning of the relationship, but in the long run, where you guys, it's kind of like we don't want the same things out of life. So you guys want to make sure you want the same things. So therefore, you can work on those things together, and
it's like basically going back to team. You know what I mean? So like, if a team wants 2 different results, it's most likely not going to work out. So if your goal is to, let's say for example, your goal is obviously to win, right? But my goal is just to play. You know what I mean? Like I just want to have fun, but you want to win.
That will cause
problems. Like, you'll be mad at me because like, why are you playing for? I really want to win, and it's just like, nah, I just want to have fun. Like then it's gonna cause an issue, because it's like. And
I feel like you mean like win, meaning like you want to be successful and you really want to do things with your life, when the other person just wants to chill.
Yeah. So like it's also a compromise there, because that's when it comes to the part of you have to step up or you have to understand that this person. So it is kind of, but you guys use your own discretion in a relationship. But yeah,
and also like figure out what you want to put up with. Like, let's say somebody wants something, or they have a certain belief that you don't want to, you don't really agree with at all. Like, figure out what you want to put up with. If you don't want to put up with that, then leave the relationship. But if you're willing to compromise and make things work, then okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So next one is to come clean and apologize for your mistakes and actually mean that apology.
Yeah. So I can speak from experience. One thing
with
is,
me?
Yeah, with you. So like, who else? But yeah, when they say come clean and apologize, it's like sometimes we apologize but we don't mean it.
We basically just say sorry just to get the other person to shut up, which I hate.
And that's a problem, because it's like you got to take that person's feelings into consideration compared to just because when you don't come clean or apologize, you're being selfish, low key. You know what I mean? Because you're not really, caring more about their feelings than yours, or just caring about their feelings in general. So when we say come clean or apologize, basically that's what it is. Just whatever issues you're having, make sure that you come clean about it. But also when you apologize, you actually mean it and learn from your mistakes. You know what I mean? Because through our relationship, there's always gonna be some type of issue, some type of.
You're gonna make a mistake, here and there.
We're not talking about like any out like you stepping outside, but we're talking about like it could just be anything. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, I think touched it right on the head. Okay, so our next one is do not let temptation ruin the relationship. I feel like that also has to kind of do with coming clean, about your mistakes and stuff. Don't let temptation. It's not worth it.
Yeah, that's one thing that I want to talk about, and I feel like from both parties, whenever you feel like you're tempted, it's better if one, you come clean, like we said, and you tell that person. So let's say, for example, I have a coworker that I might find attractive, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna let her know compared to holding it in, and it's not like you hurting her feelings or she's hurting your feelings. You might feel hurt, but it's better that you told him, and now you won't be as likely to commit or do something outside of the relationship.
And also, I feel like don't act on those feelings either, because I could tell you, okay, I'm feeling my coworker, but like I can't, go and act on those feelings. If I'm feeling my coworker, I'm not gonna start talking to them and stuff like that. And you don't have respect for the relationship.
And how I look at it is, when I like to look at root words. So like when you think of temporary, so it's not really, you're just gonna have a little bit of fun. So it's kind of like looking at it as, would you rather a microwave food, or would you like a food that's been cooked, took time, and put ingredients in, well made. So it might look good now, but is it really gonna be good for you in the long run?
Nope.
So yeah, it's better if you whenever temptations come your way, it's better that you talk to your significant other about it compared to just dealing with it on your own, because we're only human and there's only so much that we could deal with, and that's why they're there. They're there for you to confide in them and talk to them about your feelings and however you feel, and especially if that's your significant other, they're gonna be your best friend.
Especially if you guys are here for the the long term, the long run,
So that's gonna be the person that you're gonna talk to, and
about everything.
Talk to them. Don't go talk to your friends like, yo man, like I'm feeling this girl, bro, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, nah, go to your girl, be like, babe, I don't know, man, like the way she look at me. I feel something like
because your friends or even like your family members too, like they're not gonna give you the best advice.
And that's the thing, because that's where it becomes. Also, all this ties together. Because think about it. Now you're including somebody else. Now they're putting their opinions, and it could impact you or influence you to now act a certain way. Like you might be like, oh my God, like I like this guy, and then you tell your cousin, and they're like, oh well, Anthony won't know. So just have what I mean, or whatever the case is. But one thing I want to say that we didn't put on the list, but we just started learning about finance.
Oh yeah, but that's definitely for long term.
Yeah.
relationships.
That is definitely for long-term relationships, but I just wanted to include that. I don't know why, but I feel like.
Yo, let me give, you know, an advice to all the young couples out there. Okay, save your money. All right. In the beginning, we were spending a lot of money on going out all the time, which is fun, which is fine. But like, also, you know, have a budget, stay in your budget, and like do things in your budget. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made.
Talking from experience.
We made a lot of mistakes, but that's where I feel like that's the beauty of life.
We learned for sure.
Life is all about mistakes. You know, it's all about how you take them. You know what I mean? You could take them as you take that L, you bounce back. You know what I mean? Or you just say, you know, like it is what it is. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
That's true. Because to be honest, we wouldn't know the things that we know now if we didn't
go through
make those mistakes. Yeah. You know, so.
But yeah, get your finances. That's all I'm gonna say.
Save your money.
Yeah, save your money. But I feel like get your finances together. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the leading causes of relationships.
Failure.
Of not working. And I feel like once you guys get to that level, I'm not saying now.
Not in the beginning, because it's not really something.
There's no time. There's no time for it. I feel like if you guys feel like you're ready, then you're ready to talk.
Yeah,
about
but both of them both parties have to feel like.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I mean, in the beginning of the night, I'm like, oh well, yeah, like, what do you think about money? And you probably gonna be looking at me like,
this girl.
It really does depend on your maturity level too. You know, with the other person. Because let's say they don't really thinking about that right now. They don't have any bills. They just spending money like crazy. They're still young. That's fine. They're gonna be like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
But I feel like it's still there's no time for it because, you know, we want to find out where their goals are. So let's say that's important to you, and that's not important to them. Then you gotta just either work with them and try to not convince them, but you know, push that forward. But if they're not really with it, then you gotta move on. So,
but I feel like when you're young though, cause like you know how we started at like 16, 15, you're not thinking about that. So if you was to start talking to me about money compared to how you talk to me about money now, like it wouldn't have been the same result.
Yeah. No.
So you have to keep age and maturity. You know, you have to consider that too.
So yeah, I think that's the rest of our list.
We basically touched on one thing, you know.
We
put God first. Did you see that too?
Yeah.
Put God first. I think that's very, very important. Yeah,
and I feel like it is important only because we use God as our foundation. You know what I mean? So like without a good foundation, the house is gonna crumble. And I feel like I'm not saying you have to be OD religious.
You don't.
Nah, but as long as you guys put God first, like, you know.
Or whatever you believe in.
Whatever you believe in. Just having a common belief pushes the relationship forward. So, you know, it could just be like you guys pray together or, you know, you guys go to a certain, you know, whatever you do for your belief.
Oh, yeah, spirituality or whatever.
Spirituality. Maybe you guys... meditation is one of the ways that you guys, you know, reach whatever. What I'm basically trying to say is put God first and in the relationship. I think that should have been the first thing we said.
Because that's number one.
But yeah,
that's number one for sure. Then comes the communication.
Then comes all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, just put God first. If there's anything that you guys got from us, I feel like once you put God first in the relationship, you know, all things will go well. But also, it's not going to be easy. That's all I'm going to say. Relationships.
It's not easy, especially after years and years. And years.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but that's where, you know, it gets better. You know what I mean? Cause
that's kind of like the beauty of it. Because you guys learn together, experience together, grow together. It's so much.
Who wants something easy? You know what I mean?
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. You know what I mean? You rather work hard for whatever you're working hard for and achieve it. So yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was our video advice to young couples. We really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if we missed anything, or you guys got your own advice, leave it in the comments down below, or let us know what you guys thought of the advice that we gave you guys too.
Yeah, so let us know whatever you thought. Yeah, just thank you guys for watching our video, and
don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do that good, all that good fun stuff, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.